you can go on.
Kennedy decided to go to fans tomorrow too. He called me today.
I hope so. Don't say that. He sent me the roster back right away. I forwarded the link to him.
Just do a quick sign check.
Yes. Test 1 2. Check 1 2. All right.
Here's the last one here. Ask me, Christine, do you remember your friend? I left it there and cried out.
Well, we looked at it briefly. They've got to put another one. That's all the time. And elevator lead times are very long too, so.
Yeah, we can't.
So we did, they got the out. We did do that, because that's a good sized building. And they allowed us to do that. Single person. I don't know why.
I'll just get you.
I mean, they don't get those.
So they were going to live stream their own, but I told them we need to.
Okay.
Can she?
Hi, I'm Michelle.
Yeah. Hello. Okay, I'll go help her with that.
I watched it last time. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's almost nicer watching it on that than.
Last year, it was so many people and yeah, he did a really
He did.
good job.
I mean, it was a little hard to hear because you guys had that microphone issue. But,
Yeah, I've got a special.
but he did a really good job.
And you know, like that,
Especially with their mask on. It's hard to
I kept getting
Fire that baby up.
What's up, bro? We got 12 people on there.
I'm getting nervous. I was getting nervous. Could get big. They're gonna call us by alphabet, so. Oh, I tripped.
Yes.
Oh,
I don't think I can
Well, maybe the camera won't be so blurry if you trip on the cord then.
All right, thank you. Welcome to our Linn-Mar Senior Recognition Meets. It's an odd, strange year of COVID, but we're glad to have some meets and be able to have this recognition for our seniors. Our first senior is Trey Bixby. Carrie? Bixby. Trey has been a bowler for all 4 years of high school, and he plans to go to Kirkwood for a 2-year degree to be a welder. Trey Bixby. Our next senior is Jericho Dickerson. Jericho is escorted by his mom. Oh, that's Jericho, I can't read your writing. Jericho plans to go to a 4-year school for engineering. Jericho has only been at Linn-Mar 3 years, but has been on the bowling squad all 3 years. Thank you, Jericho. Caleb Hardy is our next senior. He's escorted by his mom and dad, Betsy and Scott Hardy. Caleb plans to attend either Iowa State or the Missouri University of Science and Technology to also major in electrical engineering. Caleb's been a 4-year bowler for us. Thank you, Caleb. Colton Oldman. Colton is escorted by his mom, Candy, and dad, Chad. Colton has also been a 4-year bowler for us. And he plans to work for dad and or friends after graduation. Keaton Stokes. Keaton is escorted by mom and dad, Mr. and Mrs. Robert Stokes. Keaton plans to work at Delhi Boats and take boat mechanic classes to become a certified Mercury technician. Keaton has been a 4-year bowler here at Linn-Mar. Thank you, Keaton. Lastly, Jack Wilson Maher. Jack is escorted by his dad, the OG, Steve. As you can tell, Jack is kind of the humor of the team. He has also been a bowler for 4 years. He also plans to do welding and or fabrication. I just want to say thank you very much. I've also only been here about 4 or 5 years, so this is the group that I came in with. I've been with all 4 years. You know they like bowling because our practice times are at 6:15 in the morning. So they are dedicated and show up early each morning and have done a great job. I've really enjoyed it, and thank you, boys. Appreciate it.
Yep, she'll adjust as needed. I told her she can move the camera, but she knows what's going on. Yep. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Linn-Mar Bowling.
Between Linn-Mar and Cedar Falls. Please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Then after that, you get 2 balls on each lane. Then please back, and we'll begin your competition.
True patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Catalan, to see the soul of Satan's
Hey, what's wrong with Canada? And the North Pole.
right, now we can get started, folks. Welcome to Linn-Mar Bowling. My name's Cale Sleazer. I'll be with you this afternoon. Bit of a Canadian-American Christmas-themed national anthem there, but we are moments away from the opening of this senior day. Announce the seniors before that anthem. I'm only 1 year removed from Linn-Mar, so I know a few of these bowlers personally, especially Caleb Hardy. He is a good friend of mine.
Begin our music. Okay, everybody on for practice. Please, 2 balls on each lane, then please step back. And we'll begin our competition. Good luck and good bowling.
We'll get a few practice bowls on here before we get started. Linn-Mar facing the Cedar Falls Tigers today. Windy day outside, mid-30s. Well, the weather doesn't matter here in the comfortable indoors of the Cedar Rapids Bowling Center. For those of you Cedar Falls parents that happen to be on the stream, we have finally set up our visitor stream after a few kinks by YouTube. If you go to, I believe it is Linn-Mar Away Stream on YouTube, we currently have a camera and microphone picking up the audio and video of the visiting Cedar Falls Tigers. So if any of you Cedar Falls parents want to jump over to that stream and see your favorite bowler, go ahead and hop over. Bunch of senior parents here behind me today. Everyone getting an opportunity to roll, I believe, 2 practice balls before we get started. We should be moments away from the start of this meet. While we wait for the meet to commence, I'll read off names best I can see them from back here. In lane 17, we've got Gracie Vieira, Ava Klein, and Jordan Beck. In lane 18, we have Gavin Thier and Isaac Mikola. In lane 19, we have Vince Peters, Hayden Brandt, and Trey Bixby. In lane 20, we have Keaton Stokes, Damian Perez, and Caleb Hardy. In lane 21, we have Calix Carpenter, Chase Bauer, and Colton Oltman. In lane 22, we have Jericho Dickerson, Josh Prowse, and Connor Peters. Lane 23, we have Ella Veers, Kayla Carver, and Brooklyn Krause. And in lane 24, we have Madeline Lays, Kayleigh-Ann Sims, and Marissa Bills. I'm told I got pronunciation right on that one, folks. It's only my second day doing this. I'm picking up on the names. Looks like the warm-up tosses are almost over. We've gotten the stop message on the screens. Looks like we will have a bit of a system reset and get all the warm-up lanes reset for the start of this meet. Cedar Falls doing their final warm-up throws. And I believe we are ready as Linn-Mar bowlers stand up. That was Colton Altman leading that Linn-Mar cheer. First roll of the day belongs to Gracie Veers in 17. Her first roll is on the way, and it looks like she'll pick up 8, leaving the 4 and 7. Over in 19, we have Vince Peters doing the same thing, picking up 8 and leaving the 4 and 7. Over in 18, we have Gavin Thierer on his first roll. And I believe he will get the back 3. Over in 20, it's Keaton Stokes. And he'll have a tough split to work with the 1, 2, 6, and 10 pins up. Over in 24, Madeline Lays couldn't quite get that head pin to Paul as she knocked down the other 9. Over in 21, Chase Bauer has a strike to start the day. And over in 20, Keaton Stokes trying to pick up a tough 4-pin spare, can't quite do it, manages to get the head and the 2, but not the 6 and 10. Over in 19, Hayden Britt, his first roll of the day. That'll result in a baby split, picking up 8, leaving the 3 and 4 up. Over in 20, we've got Damian Perez. And it looks like he knocked down 7, leaving the 1, 3, and 10. Over in 23, we've got Kayla Carver. knocking down 9, but leaving that 7 pin standing alone. Over in 21, Colton Altman knocking down every pin but the 10 on his first roll. Over in 24, Kayleigh-Ann Sims knocking down 9, leaving the 2 up. Over in 20, Damian Perez trying to pick up a spare and can't quite get it. That 10 pin stayed up. Over in 22, we've got a spare from Josh Prowse. He gives a nod. Over in 23, Kayla Carver looking to pick up a spare and can't quite get it. A little bit left. Over in 19, Trey Bixby just rolled a 7, leaving the 3, 6, and 10 pins standing. Bowlers reset. Caleb Hardy in 20 stepping up now. And he will knock down 8, leaving the 1 and 5 standing. Over in 19, Trey Bixby trying to get that spare, and he does, so he'll have a 7 and a 3. You've got Jericho Dickerson, the senior. He had a nice day on Friday. His first roll of the day. Looks good, and banks a little bit left at the last second, leaving 4 pins standing on the right. Over in 22, we have a spare from Connor Peters, picking up 3. Over in 24, Marissa Bills on her second roll picks up a spare on the 4 pin. Bowlers will reset. Over in 18, we've got Ava Klein on her first roll of the second frame, picking up 7, leaving the head 2 and 4 pins standing. Over in 23, we've got Madeline Lays picking up 6, leaving 4 on the right side. Over in 20, Vince Peters picked up 6 on his first roll. And we've got a spare in lane 19, Keaton Stokes picking up that 6 pin. Bowlers reset. Over in 18, Ava Klein looking for a spare, can't quite knock down that head pin. 1 second, folks. Sorry about that, folks. Need the score fixed, and the Cedar Falls people thought I worked at the bowling alley. Not quite. All right, let's see where we are. Over in 22, we've got Chase Bauer, his first roll of the second frame, and he will get 9 as he can't quite get that 6 pin to fall. Over in 20, we have Hayden Brandt, his first roll of the second frame. He picks up 8, leaving the 3 and 6 standing. Over in 18, Jordan Beck trying to pick up a 5 pin spare. She's got it. Over in 21, we have Connor Peters picking up 8 on his first roll of the second frame, leaving the 3 and 10 standing. Over in 22, we got a spare from Chase Bauer picking up that 6 pin. And in 20, Hayden Brandt picks up his spare. Over in 17, Ava Klein, her first roll of frame 3. She will pick up 7, leaving the 1, 2, and 4 pins standing. Caleb Hardy looking to pick up a spare on the 10 pin, and a little bit to the left, can't quite pick it up. Trey Bixby prepping in 20. Here's the approach and the release. Spinning to the left, and he will pick up 7, leaving the 1, 3, and 6 pins standing. Seen a lot of that today so far in the early minutes of this meet. Over in 21, Calix Carpenter picking up 9 on his first roll of frame 3, leaving the 3 pins standing. Over in 24, Brooklyn Krause trying to pick up a spare, and I believe she's got it. Over in 22, Colton Altman can't quite pick up a spare on the 1, 2, and 4. Over in 19, looking for a spare is Vince Peters, and he's got it. Calix Carpenter looking for a spare of his own and can't quite knock down that lone 3 pin. Over in 20, Keaton Stokes, his first roll of frame 3 is a strike. He got it. Giving a little shoulder shrug and some claps from the senior parents. Jericho Dickerson in 22. He had a strike in the opening frame, looking for his second one of the game. And Dickerson can't quite clip that 10 pin on the edge. He'll have that to pick up in his second roll. Over in 20, Damian Perez will pick up the 7 pin on the left. A bit too much spin on that one, as he'll have a 9 pin spare to work with on his next one. Over in 21, Chase Bauer picks up 8, leaving the 1 and 5 pin standing. They need a strong roll to get both of those on his next one. Over in 19, Hayden Brandt can't quite pick up the spare as he knocks down 1 of 3. Over in 22, Dickerson looking for the 10 pin, and he's got it for a spare. Over in 20, Damian Perez manages to get 6 after getting 1 on his first one, so he will have a 7 in the frame. And we've got a spare over in 21. Chase Bauer had enough drive on that ball to get the 1 and 5 pin. Over in 18, it's Ava Klein, and she will get 9 on her first roll of frame 4, leaving the 5 standing. Over in 19, strong roll from Trey Bixby. He's got a strike. And over in 20, Caleb Hardy has a strike of his own. So 2 strikes in quick succession here. Over in 23, Kayla Carver can't quite pick up a spare. And over in 21, Colton Oltman getting 9, leaving that 7 pin standing. Over in 22, Josh Prowse looking for a spare. Here's the release, and can't quite get enough spin on it as that ball goes into the left gutter. Over in 20, Vince Peters. His first roll of frame 4 is a strike. Over in 24, we've got Marissa Bills with a strike of her own, and over in 21, Oltman can't quite get the spare, and neither can Keaton Stokes on the 7 pin in lane 18. Over in 20, we have Hayden Brandt. His first roll of frame 4. I believe that will knock down 6 as he leaves a few on the left standing. Over 19, Damian Perez on his first roll will pick up 7, leaving the 1, 2, and 4 standing. Seen a lot of that so far today. Grace Veers in 17 on her first roll of frame 5 is a strike. Coach gives a little clap on that one. Jericho Dickerson prepping in 21. Over in 23, Brooklyn Krause will have a spare on the 4 and 7 pin. Jericho Dickerson in 21. Starting right, spinning left, and he's got it. Not quite the spin he wanted, but a strike is a strike nonetheless. Over in 24, Kayla Carver will pick up 9, leaving the 10 pin standing. Over in 20, Bixby has another strike. That's 2 in a row. Caleb Hardy in 19, looking for a double of his own, and he can't quite get it, leaving the 1, 3, and 6 pin standing. Over in 22, Calix Carpenter looking for a spare and can't quite get it. Gets the head pin, but not the 2 that he needed as well. 21, Josh Prowse, his first roll of frame 5, starting left, banking right. He's got a strike. Good spin on that one. Caleb Hardy picks up a spare in 19 on 3 pins. Over in 20, Keaton Stokes picks up 7, and he'll have a tough split to work with the 1, 2, and 10 pin in the back. Over in 22, Chase Bauer can't quite get that 10 pin to fall as he picks up 9. Over in 24, Brooklyn Krause, her first roll of frame 4, can't quite knock down the 10 pin as she gets 9. Tough spare opportunity for Keaton Stokes, and he misses all 3. Over in 22, Chase Bauer looking for the 10 pin, and he's got it for a spare. In 21, Connor Peters, his first roll of frame 5. He gets 7, leaving the 1, 3, and 9 pins standing. Don't see that too often. Over in 23, Kayleigh Sims can't quite get that 10 pin as she gets 9 on that one. Bowlers reset. Over in 18, Gracie Veers, her first roll of the frame, and can't quite get the head pin to fall. It wobbled but said no. Over in 20, Damian Perez can't quite get a spare. That 9 pin stays up in the back, and he'll have 9. Over in 19, Hayden Brandt, funky spin on that one, and that'll go into the gutter. And over in 22, Colton Oltman got a strike. Over in 21, Calix Carpenter, his first roll of frame 5. He'll get 8, leaving the 6 and 10 standing. Over in 18, Gracie Veers trying to get that head pin for the spare. Can't quite get it. Banks just right. Over in 24, Madeline Lays will get a strike. Over in 23, it's Marissa Bills on her first roll. And I believe that's a strike. Yes, it is. Jericho Dickerson in 22, starting right, banking left. He's got a strike. That's 2 in a row. Caleb Hardy picking up the back 5 on his first roll. Over in 23, Ella Veers will pick up 7, leaving 3 standing in about the middle. Over in 24, Kaylee-Ann Sims. She will pick up 7 on her first roll, leaving the 2, 4, and 5 standing. Over in 22, Josh Prowse couldn't quite get the spin on it he wanted. He picks up 6, leaving the 1, 3, 6, and 9 standing. Over in 19, Keaton Stokes will have another tough spare to work with, as he'll have the 1, 2, 4, 6, and 10 to work with. Over in 21, it's Cole Noltman, his first roll of frame 5. He will leave the 10 standing, picking up 9. Bowlers reset. Over in 19, Keaton Stokes looking for a tough spare, and he'll get all but 1. I believe the 2 pin was left standing after that one. Hayden Brandt picking up 9 in his first roll of frame 6 over in lane 20. Over in 22, Josh Prowse can't quite get the spare on 4, and we've got a strike in lane 24. I believe that was Marissa Bills. Over in 19, Damian Perez will get 9. He will have the 4 pin to work with on his second roll, and Hayden Brandt can't quite knock down the 10 for a spare in lane 20. We do have a spare in 18 as Jordan Beck knocks down the 6 and 10. Over in 23, Brooklyn Krause will pick up 8, leaving the 3 and 10 standing. Over in 24, Ella Veers will pick up 7 on her first roll of the frame, leaving the 5, 6, and 10 standing. Jericho Dickerson getting set in 21. Here's the approach and the release. That signature Dickerson spin to the left, and he can't quite get the 9 pin on that one. We'll look to pick that up on his second roll. Over in 20, Trey Bixby. And I believe he got a strike. I don't think he realized it until just now. That last pin didn't fall until right at the end. Over in 17, Ava Klein trying to get a spare, can't quite knock down the head pin, and Caleb Hardy has a strike in 19. Over in 20, Keaton Stokes, his first roll of frame 7. He will get 9, leaving the 5 pin standing. Over in 17, Jordan Beck will get 8, leaving the 3 and 5 standing. Over in 19, Vince Peters on his first roll of the frame will get 9, leaving that 3 pin standing. Over in 22, Calix Carpenter will get 2 of 3 on a tough spare. Over in 20, Keaton Stokes looking for the spare. He's got it on that 5 pin. Bowlers reset. Over in 17, Jordan Beck trying to pick up a spare on the 3 and 5. She's got it. Gets a little round of applause from coach and other teammates. Over in 20, Damian Perez, his first roll of frame 7. He will get all but 1, leaving the 7 pin up. Over in 23, Kaylee-Ann Sims, got all but 1, leaving the 10 up. Over in 21, Josh Prowse. Few pins fell at the end. He'll end up with 8. Over in 22, Chase Bauer. He'll have a tough split to work with on his second roll, leaving the 2, 4, 6, and 10 pins up. In 23, Kaylee-Ann Sims gets the spare on the 10 pin. Josh Prowse will need some power on this throw in lane 21 to get the spare, and he will get the head pin, but not the 9 behind it. Over in 18, Ava Klein, her first roll of frame 8. She will get 8, leaving the 5 and 10 up for her next roll. Bowlers resetting. Over 19, Trey Bixby. He's looking for a double, and he can't quite get it. He will leave the 1 and 3 pin standing. Over in 21, Connor Peters prepping, stepping up the release, spinning left, and he will get 8, leaving the 3 and 6 up. Over in 18, Ava Klein can't quite get a tough spare on the 5 and 10. She'll get the 5. Over in 20, Caleb Hardy picks up a spare on the 5 pin. Over in 19, Bixby looking for the 1 and 3 pin for a spare, and it will miss wide left. Over in 17, Isaac Mikola. He will get 6, leaving 4 on the right side. Over in 22, we've got a strike from Colton Oltman. Over in 20, Vince Peters on his first roll of the frame. He has a strike. Over in 24, we've got a spare from Kayleigh Sims. Over in 19, Keaton Stokes has a strike. Strikes galore here for the Lions, putting together a nice team stretch. Calix Carpenter in 21, he has a strike. Strike after strike for the Lions. We'll see if Hayden Brandt can keep the streak going in lane 20. Can't quite knock down the 10. Jericho Dickerson in 22. And he has struggled to pick up that 10 pin today, as that will remain standing on his second roll. Marissa Bills leaves the 10 standing, knocking down 9 on her first roll as well. And a strike from Chase Bauer in 21, getting a nice hand from his teammates. And Hayden Brandt can't quite pick up the spare on the 10 pin in his second roll. Over 19, Damian Perez looking for a tough spare. He's got it. 1, 2, and 10. That's not easy, folks, but he made it look easy. Picked it up, no problem. Over in 24, Marissa Bills can't quite get the 10 on the right side. Ball banking to the gutter at the last second. Colton Oltman, his first roll, and he's got a double now with strikes in the 6th and 7th frame. Trey Bixby in 20. And he will pick up 7. He'll have a tough split to work with the 2, 4, and 10 left to pick up. Josh Prowse rolls an 8, leaving the 6 and 10. Caleb Hardy rolls 8, leaving the 1 and 3. Bowlers resetting for Linn-Mar. Over in 18, Isaac Mikola, his first roll of frame 9 is a strike, knocks them all down. Over in 21, Jericho Dickerson. And he'll leave 2 standing that time. The 3 and the 10. Over in 20, Trey Bixby picks up 2 of the 3 on a tough spare. And Josh Prowse clips that 6 pin to get the 6 and 10 for the spare. Gavin Fearer in lane 17. He's got 9. That 3 pin refused to go down. Jericho Dickerson looking for a spare and can't get it as he misses wide left. Over in 23, Brooklyn Krause picks up a spare. Keaton Stokes in 20, he's got a strike. That's 2 in a row for Stokes. In 24, Kayla Carver picks up 9, leaving the 2 pin standing. Over in 19, we've got a 9 pin pickup by Vince Peters, leaving the 4 standing. In 23, Madeline Lays. Pin wobbling, but not quite down, as she leaves the 6 and 9 pins standing. 22, Connor Peters looking for a spare, and just enough spin to the left. He's got it. Over in 19, Vince Peters looking for a spare on the 4 pin, can't quite connect. Isaac Mikola, over in 17, on his first roll of the frame, will pick up 9. Damian Perez can't quite pick up a 6 pin spare in lane 20. Over in 23, Madeline Lays picks up a spare on the 6 and 9. Over in 22, Calix Carpenter picks up 9 with the 5 pin to pick up. And I believe we have a strike from Hayden Brandt in 19, and we do. Over in 24, Brooklyn Krause has a strike of her own. Caleb Hardy, the senior, approaching on 20. He's had a good game. And he'll have a tough split to pick up after that one, leaving the 2 and 10 standing after that one. Very rarely do you see that. Over on 22, Calix Carpenter gets the 5 pin for the spare. Trey Bixby, his first roll of the frame, will get 9, leaving the 10 pin standing. Tough spare chance for Josh Prowse in 21. He's got it! Cheer and applause from Coach. Caleb Hardy looking for a tough spare in 20, and he will get the 2, leaving the 10 standing. Marissa Bills in 23 will get 9, leaving the 10 pin standing. Over in 22, Chase Bauer's first roll of his frame. He gets 8, leaving the 3 and 6 pin standing. Over in 24, Madeline Lays picking up 7. Over in 21, Connor Peters picking up 6. Over in 23, Marissa Bills looking for a spare on the 10, and she's got it. Over in 20, Vince Peters with a strike. Over in 19, Keaton Stokes with a strike of his own, and another nice strike streak from the Lions. In 21, Connor Peters gets 3 of the 4 he needed for the spare. Over in 23, Ella Veers on her first roll of the frame. She'll pick up 6. Over in 20, Vince Peters. He's got a strike. Over in 21, Calix Carpenter. Starting right, spinning left, and he will get 6 of his own. Over in 19, Keaton Stokes has a strike. And I believe he's currently in the 10th frame. He's got a double. He'll go for the turkey on his next roll. Over in 22, Colton Ullman picks up 9, leaving the 2 pin standing. Over in 20, Vince Peters. He's got the Christmas turkey. Actually, he's got 4 in a row. I miscounted there, folks. Peters has 4. Over in 19, Keaton Stokes can't quite get the strike as he knocks down all but the 10. And we've got a spare in 22 by Oltman as he gets his 2 pin. Nearing the end of game 1 here. Over in 23, Kayla Carver. She will pick up she has a 7-10 split to work with on her next one, the most difficult split in all of bowling. Jericho Dickerson prepping in 22. Here's the approach and the release. Spinning left, and he will pick up 6. He'll have a split to work with the 4 on the left and then the 2, 6, and 10 on the right. And I believe Chase Bauer just rolled the strike in 21. Yes, he did. Hayden Brandt looking for a tough 3-pin spare and can't pick up any. Over 19, Perez will pick up 2 of 5 on a tough split. Dickerson with 4 to pick up. He'll get the 3 on the right. Over in 18, Ava Klein looking for an 8-pin spare. It looks all right, and she'll get 6. Over in 23, Brooklyn Krause has a strike. She's had a nice game. That's a double for her. She's picked up a few other strikes along the way. Caleb Hardy, he's got a strike, and he will have a 3rd roll in frame 10. Over in 18, Jordan Beck has a strike of her own starting game 2. Over in 22, it's Josh Prowse. He's got a strike of his own. Bowlers resetting. Lanes 17 and 18 have started game 2. Over in game 1, lane 23, Madeline Lays. She has a strike, knocked him down in just the right spot. Dickerson in 21 can't quite get the right spin on it, and that will roll gutter, and he'll try for the 10-pin spare. We've got a strike in 18 by Gavin Fear. He's got a double to start game 2. Over in 17, Gracie Veers picks up a nice spare. Over in 17, frame 2 of game 2. Madeline Lays in 23. Her 2nd roll of frame 10, and she's got a strike. And Caleb Hardy finishes off the game with a strike. Dickerson picking up 6 in 21. Over in 22, Calix Carpenter. Weird drive on that one, as the 1, 2, 4, 6, and 10 pins will stay standing. Some very weird spares here today, folks. You don't see some of these very often. Over in 23, Madeline Lays picks up 9. Bowlers resetting. Over in 18, it's Gracie Veers. In game 2, frame 3, her first roll. She's got a strike. Over in 19, Keaton Stokes in game 2. He'll pick up 7. Over in 21, it's Josh Prowse near the end of game 1, picking up 9, leaving the 3-pin standing. Over in 23, Kellyanne Sims gets a strike. Chase Bauer picks up 9 in lane 22, leaving that 5-pin standing. Over in 19, Keaton Stokes picks up a tough spare. He got the 4, 7, and 9, getting just the right angle on it, and a nice spare from him. Over in 20, Hayden Brandt, he'll get a spare of his own on the 3-pin. Over in 22, Chase Bauer picks up that spare on the 5-pin. Over in 17, Gavin Thier picks up 8, leaving the 2 and 5 standing. Over in 21, Josh Prowse, his final roll of game 1. He will pick up, I believe, 8 or 7 in his final roll. Over in 19, Damian Perez can't pick up a 5-7 spare. Trey Bixby with his first roll of game 2 and can't quite get the right spin on it as that gutters, and he'll try for the 10-pin spare his next roll. Over in 23, Marissa Bills, final roll of the game in 23, and ends it off on a high note with a strike. Over in 19, Caleb Hardy will pick up 9, leaving the 5-pin standing. In 21, Connor Peters picks up 6, leaving the 1, 2, 4, and 10 standing. That'll be a tough split. In 22, Colton Oltman has a strike, and he knew it right when he released it. Over in 19, Caleb Hardy looking for the spare. He's got it. Over in 23, Marissa Bills has a strike, gets a hand from her coach. And I believe we are done, if not close, with game 1 team-wide. And we will have scores for that shortly. Grace Veers, on her first roll, she will pick up 5. Over in 20, Keaton Stokes has a strike. He's got 2 full frames to start the game. And over in 23, I believe they just ended their game. Over in 22, Colton Oltman picks up 7 on the final roll of game 1 in lane 22. Over in 20, game 2, frame 2 for Damian Perez. He will pick up 3 in the back. Over in 18, Isaac Nicola just picked up 9. He's coming off of a double before that roll. He's got the 7-pin to work with his second roll. And over in 22, Colton Oltman can't quite pick up the spare on 3 pins, leaving the 8 standing in the back. Damian Perez looking for a 7-pin spare in lane 20 and gets 6 of them. Over in 18, Isaac Nicola looking for the spare, can't quite get enough spin as it misses wide right. Bowlers resetting. Trey Bixby in 19. His first roll of frame 2 is a strike. Bixby knocks him down. Caleb Hardy approaching in 20. Here's the release. Spinning left, and he's got 9, leaving that 5-pin standing. Over in 18, Gracie Veers knocks down 7, leaving the 1, 2, and 9 standing. That's a spare we've seen a few times today. Over in 19, Keaton Stokes picks up 8, leaving the 5 and 9 standing. Over in 17, it's Jordan Beck. She picks up 9, leaving the 10-pin standing. Jericho Dickerson in 21, his first roll of game 2, banking left, and he's got a strike. That ends a bit of a cold stretch for him, gives the point to his coach. And over in 18, Gracie Veers gets 1 of 3 on the spare. Caleb Hardy trying for a spare of his own, and he clips the left edge of the 5-pin. Gets a round of applause from his parents as he picks up that spare. Chase Bauer, his first roll of game 2. Spins left at the last second. He'll pick up 6, leaving the 1, 3, 6, and 8 standing. Josh Prowse in 21. He will pick up 6 on his first roll. Over 19, Damian Perez. He's got a strike. He's got 2 strikes and 3 frames so far. Over in 22, Chase Bauer gets 2 of 4 on a tough spare. Josh Prowse looking for a semi-tough spare on his lane. And he will get 2 as he leaves the 6 and 10 standing. Vince Peters looking to pick up the left 4 on his spare chance. And he's got it. Caleb Hardy in 19. He's got 8, leaving the 2 and 4 standing. Connor Peters in 21. Spinning left, and he's got a strike, hit the sweet spot. Over in 23, Madeline Lays picks up 6, leaving the right 4 standing. Over in 22, Colton Oltman picks up a spare on the 2 and 5. Caleb Hardy looking for a spare in 19. He's got it, gets a round of applause from his family in the back. Over in 20, Hayden Brandt looking for a 10 pin and can't get it for the spare. Madeline Lays in 23. She will get 3 of 4 on her second roll. Vince Peters in 19. He's had 2 of 3 full frames so far, and he'll pick up 9, leaving the 5 pin standing. Jericho Dickerson looking to build on the strike to start the game. Here's the approach and the release from Dickerson. And he will get 8, as he will have the 2 and 8 pin to pick up on the next one. Kayleigh Sims in 23. Her first roll of game 2 is a 9 pin pickup, leaving the 7 barely standing. Trey Bixby looking for a 9-10 baby split for the spare over in lane 20, and he can't get it as that goes in the gutter, and Jericho Dickerson can't knock down any either as he misses his spare chance. Over in 23, Kayleigh Sims looking for a spare of her own. She's got it on the 7 pin. Over in 21, Chase Bauer with a strike. Over in 18, Jordan Beck knocking down 7, leaving the 3, 5, and 6 standing. Over in 19, Hayden Brandt looking for a tough spare, and he'll get the 3 on the left, leaving the 10 pin standing. In 23, Marissa Bills, her first roll of game 2 is a strike. That's a nice way to start if you're Marissa Bills. Bowlers resetting. Over in 20, Keaton Stokes looking for a spare on the 6 and 7 pins, gets the 6 on the right. Over in 21, we've got a strike from Colton Oltman as he's got 2 full frames to start the game. Over in 19, Trey Bixby picks up 7, and he'll have the 4, 7, and 10 to pick up on his next attempt. Over in 20, Damian Perez coming off a strike rolls a 7, leaving the 1, 3, and 5 standing. Over in 23, Ella Veers picking up 9, leaving the head pin standing, and Trey Bixby almost picked up a tough spare in 19, but leaves the 10 standing. Jericho Dickerson preparing for his approach in 21. Here it comes. The release, spinning left, and he's got a strike. Dickerson's 2 of 3 strike-wise to start game 2. And we've got a spare in 20 from Damian Perez, picking up 3 in the front. In 22, Connor Peters looking for a tough spare. He's got it, drove through the 3 and the 9 pin. Bowlers resetting. Caleb Hardy in 20. He's got 3 full frames to start out game 2, and he'll have a tough spare to pick up as he leaves the 1, 2, 7, and 10 standing after his first roll of frame 4. Over 19, Keaton Stokes picks up a spare on the 10, and we've got a strike in 21 from Josh Prowse. Over in 22, Calix Carpenter. He will pick up 7, leaving the 4, 6, and 7 standing. Caleb Hardy looking for a tough spare in lane 20. He's got the 1, 2, 7, and 10 to pick up. He will get the 1 and 2 and leave the 7 and 10 standing. Connor Peters approaching in 21. Spinning to the left, and he's got 7. He'll have a tough spare to pick up with the 3, 8, and 10 pins still standing. Over in 19, Damian Perez, his first roll of frame 5 is a strike. Over in 17, Gavin Fearer picks up a spare on the 8 pin. We are getting score updates from game 1. We will announce those to you shortly. And in 21, Connor Peters picks up 1 of 3 on his second roll. Madeline Lays in 23. She will get 9 as she has the 6 pin to pick up on her second roll. Over in 20, Vince Peters looking to get that 5 pin and can't quite get it. Over in 21, Calix Carpenter, he's got a strike. He's got 2 strikes in 4 frames so far, and another strike from Caleb Hardy. He's had a nice day. And we have score updates from game 1. For the junior varsity girls squad, we've got Linn-Mar leading 680 to 587 with a 93 pin advantage. For the junior varsity boys squad, we've got a 786 to 765 margin with 21 points separating the two teams. And the varsity boys squad trailing 1,064 to 777, trailing by 287 pins, and a very close trailing by the Linn-Mar squad for the varsity girls. They trail by 15 with a score of 861 to 846. Back to action. Over in 21, Chase Bauer. He picks up, I believe that was 9, yes, leaving the 2 pin standing after that one. Kaylee Ann Sims picks up a strike. She's got a double in 23. Over in 20, Trey Bixby on his first roll of the frame gets a strike of his own, and another strike from Altman. Linn-Mar is getting strikes in group fashion today, and another one from Kayla Carver. About 4 or 5 strikes there in rapid succession by the Lions, and that'll help in the scorecard. Marissa Bills, she's got a strike. We'll see if Jericho Dickerson can keep the strike going for Linn-Mar. And over in 18, we've got a strike from Isaac Nicola. Strike after strike for the Lions. Dickerson has a strike. Over in 19, Hayden Brandt looking for a spare on the 10 pin. He's got it. Over in 24, Brooklyn Krause's got a strike. Strikes galore here at the Cedar Rapids Bowling Center for the Lions. Over in 23, Ella Veers has a strike. Over in 21, Colton Altman has a strike. The strikes just keep on coming for the Lions. Over in 20, Keaton Stokes looking for a tough spare, and he can't quite get it, missing that 10 pin. Josh Prowse in 22. He's got a strike. Over in 19, Trey Bixby has a strike. I'm going to lose my voice soon with all these strikes, folks. This is exciting. Over in 23, Kayla Carver gets 8, leaving the 6 and 10 standing. Over in 20, Damian Perez picks up 4. Over in 17, Jordan Beck picks up 8. In 21, it's Jericho Dickerson picking up 7. Connor Peters in 22 picks up 7. Over in 20, Damian Perez looking for a 6-pin spare, and he's got it. Over in 19, Keaton Stokes picks up 9. Jericho Dickerson looking for a spare in 21. He needs the 3, 6, and 10 to fall. It looks good, and it is good. Spare for Dickerson. Connor Peters looking for a spare of his own in 22. He's got it. Over in 17, Gavin Fearer picks up 9. Caleb Hardy in 20 picks up 6. Over in 23, we've got 8 from Brooklyn Krause, and Keaton Stokes picking up a spare on that 5 pin over on the left. Calix Carpenter in 22 has a strike. Got a friendly spin from the pin on that one. And Caleb Hardy will get 2 of 4 on his second roll. Over in 23, Brooklyn Krause looking for a tough spare. She'll get the head pin. And a strike from Josh Prowse in 21. Over in 24, Marissa Bills picks up 9, leaving the 10 pin standing. Over in 20, Vince Peters has a strike. In 22, Chase Bauer on his first roll of frame 5 picks up 6. Over in 19, Damian Perez gets 2 of 6 on his second roll. Over in 23, Madeline Lays picks up 6 on her first roll. Over in 20, Hayden Brandt, he's got a strike. Over in 20, Caleb Hardy, over in 19, gets 8. He'll have the 8 and 10 pins to pick up. Over in 23, Madeline Lays picks up 2 of 4 on her second roll, and a strike from Calix Carpenter. He's got a turkey. 4th, 5th, and 6th frames, all strikes for Calix Carpenter. And speaking of strikes, we've got one from Trey Bixby in 20. Lane 19, Caleb Hardy looking for a tough spare, can't quite get it. Over in 22, Colton Oltman picks up 9, leaving the 2 pin standing. 21, Chase Bauer has a strike of his own. Over in 20, Keaton Stokes, his first roll of the frame. He picks up 8. He will have the 3 and 6 pins to work with on his second roll. Vince Peters in 19 picks up 6 on his first roll, and Colton Oltman gets a spare on his lone 2 pin. Over in 24, Kayla Carver has 8. She will have the 5 and 8 pins to pick up on her next one. Keaton Stokes looking for a spare. He's got it. Bowlers resetting. Over in 19, Vince Peters looking for a 4-pin spare. He will get 3. And Colton Oltman in 21, he will get 8, leaving the 3 and 6 pins standing. Over in 20, we've got Damian Perez picking up 7. Jericho Dickerson in 22, he gets 9, leaving the 10 pins standing. Over in 23, Ella Veers, her first roll of frame 6. She gets 8, leaving the 6 and 10 standing, and a spare from Colton Oltman in 21. Over in 18, we've got Isaac Mikola picking up 8, leaving the 4 and 7 standing. Damian Perez looking for a spare in 20. He's got it and gets a round of applause from the parents. Dickerson looking for a spare of his own. He's got it on the 10 pin. Ella Veers has a spare of her own to pick up. Looking for the 6 and 10 on the right. She will get the 6, but not the 10. Over in 18, Isaac Mikola looking for a spare and misses right on the 4 and 7 pins. Caleb Hardy, lane 20, spinning left, and he will get 9, needing that 4 pin to pick up. Hardy has not bowled less than an 8 on most of his rolls today. He's done very well overall. Over in 22, Josh Prowse picks up 9, needing the 6 pin on his second roll. Kayla Carver with a strike in lane 23. Jericho Dickerson in 21. Here's the release, spinning left, and that's a strike. That looked good from the get-go, and Dickerson gives a little fist pump after that one. Josh Prowse looking for a spare on the 6 pin in lane 22. It looks good. He's got it. Over in 20, Vince Peters has a strike. He's had a nice game. Lots of full frames on the scorecard. Over in 23, Brooklyn Krause picks up 8. She'll need to pick up the 3 and the 6 on her next roll. Over in 24, Madeline Lays has a tough spare to pick up with the 7, 10, and 6. She will get the 6 and 10 on the right. Over in 21, Josh Prowse has another strike. Hayden Brandt over in 20. He's got a strike. We might see another strike surge here from the Lions. Over in 19, Keaton Stokes has a spare on the 7 pin. Brooklyn Krause has a spare on the 3 and 6 pin in her lane. Bowlers resetting. Here's Ava Klein in 18. She'll have a tough 4 pin to pick up. She will get 1. Bowlers resetting for the Lions. Damian Perez in 19, his first roll of frame 9, he picks up 6. Trey Bixby in lane 20, he's got 9, couldn't quite get that 9 pin. Over in 24, Kayleigh Sims will miss her 4 and 7 pins on the left. Over in 19, Damian Perez gets 3 of 4, can't quite convert the spare. 22, Connor Peters, his first roll of the frame, gets 9, and Bixby will graze the edge of his lone pin to get a spare in 20. Bowlers resetting for Linn-Mar. Madeline Lays looking to pick up the 6 pin for the spare and misses right. Over in 20, Keaton Stokes, he's got a strike. Over in 22, Connor Peters picking up a spare on the 8 pin. Caleb Hardy, his first roll of the frame, he gets 8. He will have the 6 and 9 pins to pick up on his next roll. Over in 18, Gavin Fearer picking up 7 on his first roll. Bowlers resetting. Calix Carpenter in 22. And can't quite get the right spin on it as that goes in the gutter. He'll look for the 10-pin spare on the next one. Keaton Stokes getting 8 on his first roll of the frame. Over in 21, Josh Prowse. He picks up 9 as he had a turkey going into this frame. As I didn't realize that earlier, and Caleb Hardy will get 1 of 2 on his second roll of his frame. Over in 24, Ella Veers picking up 8, leaving the 6 and 8 pins standing. In 21, Josh Prowse looking for the 7 pin for the spare. He's got it. Gets a round of applause from coach. Over in 23, Kayleigh Sims. She gets 2 of 3 on her second roll. And Damian Perez picks up 7 on his first roll of the frame. Over in 24, Ella Veers looking for a tough spare. She'll get the 1 on the right. Connor Peters picking up 7 on his first roll, and a spare from Vince Peters in 19. First roll of the frame for Marissa Bills. She's got a strike. Over in 22, Chase Bauer looking for the 5 pin, and he's got it for the spare. Round of applause from coach. Over in 21, Connor Peters looking for the 1 and 2 for the spare. It looks good, and it is. Spare from Peters. Over in 17, Jordan Beck picking up 7 with the 1, 2, and 4 on the left to pick up still. Over in 23, Ella Veers has a strike. I believe Caleb Hardy rolled 1, 2. Over in lane 20. Colton Oltman in lane 22. He's got 9 with the 4 pin still standing. Over in 22, Calix Carpenter picks up 9 with the 10 pin still standing. Caleb Hardy looking for a double on his second roll of the 10th frame. He's got 9. And Colton Oldman picks up a spare in 22. Looking for a spare in 21 is Carpenter. He's got it. Over in 18, Isaac Mikola on his first roll of the frame. He's got 9, leaving that 7 pin standing. Bowlers resetting. Jericho Dickerson prepping in 22. Trey Bixby approaching in 19. And Bixby has 8, got some friendly falls at the end. And Dickerson, he's got 9, leaving that 7 pin standing. Over in 23, Kayla Carver looking for a 6-10 spare. And she's got it. Over in 21, Chase Bauer picking up 6 on his first roll. And oh, what a spare from Trey Bixby in 19. That was a tough one, folks. That's the best one we've seen all day. Over in 22, Jericho Dickerson can't quite pick up the spare on that 7 pin as it slices just a bit left. And over, oh, another nice spare. That one was Chase Bauer in 21. Picking up a nice spare between 4 pins. Over in 19, Trey Bixby knocks down 8. And over in 23, Brooklyn Krause knocks down 8 of her own, or 9 of her own, as one fell late. She will have the 3 pin to pick up on her next one. Josh Prowse in 22, he's had a great game. And another strike. He had 4 in a row earlier. And I believe he has full frames in every frame except one. Reading off from second frame on. Strike, 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 spare, spare, strike for him. And I believe Colton Oltman just picked up a strike in 21. We've got minimal activity here by Linn-Mar. Prepping for the approach is Connor Peters in 22, and he's got, I believe, 8, and he does. He will have the 4 and 10 pins to pick up on his next one. Jericho Dickerson in 21, and he will roll a gutter ball to the right as he didn't get enough spin left. Connor Peters looking for a tough 4-10 split, and he will knock down the 4 on the left side. That's about the best he can do in that situation. Ella Veers in 24 gets 8, leaving the 5 and 10 standing. Jericho Dickerson looking for redemption and can't quite get that 10 pin to fall as he picks up 9. Over in 22, Calix Carpenter picks up 6. Yes, 6 pins, 4 left on the left side. Ella Veer is looking for a tough 5-10 split in 24. She can't quite get it, picks up the 5, but not the 10. Bowlers resetting for the Lions. Calix Carpenter looking to pick up a 4-pin spare in 22. Over in 23, it's Marissa Bills. She's got a strike. She's had a nice day. Over in 21, we've got a strike from Josh Prowse. 22, Calix Carpenter, semi-tough spare on the way. He will get 3 as he couldn't quite knock down the 8 pin in the back. Bowlers resetting for Linn-Mar. Ella Veers approaching in 23. Here's the release. Spinning right. It looks good. And she'll get 9, leaving the 6 pin standing. Over in 21, we've got 9 from Connor Peters as he leaves the 4 pin standing. Chase Bauer approaching in 22. His first roll of the frame. He's got 9. Over in 24, we've got 2 out of 3 from Kayla Carver. Over in 21, Peters looking for the spare, and Banks left at the last second and misses that 4 pin. Chase Bauer looking for the 5 pin spare. That lone 5 pin waiting for Bauer. Here's the approach and the spin. Spinning left, and he's got it right down the middle. Hit it right on the head. Calix Carpenter in 21. He's looking for a double, and he will not get it as he knocks down 8, leaving the 3 and 10 standing. In 23, it's Kayla Carver. Her first roll of the frame. She will get 9 as that 10 pin fell late. I believe it was only scored as 8, and a tough spare from Carpenter in 21. Shrugging his shoulders as if to say, I don't know how I did that. Over in 22, Colton Oltman, his first roll of the 10th frame is in there for a strike. Gets some applause from the senior parents, gives some homage. Calix Carpenter in 21. His final roll of the 10th frame is a strike. Third roll of the 10th frame ends off the game on a high note for Carpenter. Over in 24, Madeline Lays, she's looking for the turkey. And she will get 8 as she leaves the 4 and 7 standing. Jericho Dickerson will have a tough break on that one as he knocks down 4, leaving 6 pins scattered across. Over in 21, Chase Bauer, bit of a left spin late as he picks up 6, leaving the 1, 3, 5, and 10 standing. Over in 24, Madeline Lays is looking for a spare and can't get it as it spins into the left gutter. Jericho Dickerson looking for a scattered 6-pin spare. And he will get the 7 on the left, but that is all. Over in 23, Brooklyn Krause looking for the 6. And she will get it for the spare. Over in 24, it's Kayleigh Sims looking for turkey. And she will roll it in the right gutter on her first roll of the frame. Lots of turkey searching here for the Lions as Josh Prowse looks for one of his own. And he's got the turkey. And he will have a third roll in the 10th frame as that was his first. Over in 23, Brooklyn Krause, her third roll of the 10th. She knocks down 9. And over in 21, Colton Oltmann with his first roll of the frame. He was looking for a turkey of his own, but only got 9 as that 10-pin stayed standing. And Kayleigh Sims gets a 10-pin spare in the 10th frame, and she will have a third roll. Josh Prowse looking for 4 in a row, banking right. He can't quite get it as that 8-pin stays up, and he knew that he missed 4 right there. And Colton Oltmann can't quite get the 10-pin on the right for his spare chance. Josh Prowse with his final roll of his game 2, looking for that 8-pin, and he'll hit it right on the head and end off his game with a turkey and then a spare. Can't do too much better than that, folks. And I believe we are almost ready for Bakers, as I believe the only 2 bowlers we are waiting on now are Marissa Bills in 24 and Connor Peters in 22. And it looks like lane 25 is ready, or lane 25 is Cedar Falls. I don't know why I'm looking at 25. Connor Peters prepping in 22. Marissa Bills now approaching and going in 24. Here it comes. She's got 9 in her first roll of the 10th frame. Peters in his first roll of the 10th gets the strike. The 5-pin fell late, and Peters will have a third roll in the 10th. Marissa Bills looking for a spare on the 5-pin for a chance at a third roll for her in the 10th. Bills and Peters shining up their bowling balls. Bills now rolling, and she's got the spare. She will have a third roll. Connor Peters looking for the double, and he can't quite get it. Ball left his hand funny and went into the right gutter. So Peters will have a chance for a 10-pin spare to finish out the game. Marissa Bills will look to get a strike to close out her game. Connor Peters in 22. He will get 7 pins and a strike from Marissa Bills to end her game. She went 3 strikes in a row, then spare, then strike to end her game. And that will be the end of game 2 for the Lions as we reset for the Bakers rounds. And we will have scores from game 2 shortly. I'm going to go check on the visitor live stream, folks. I'll be right back. Oh yeah. Yep.
Did you get the notification on that?
Yes, I did. Just push back on it.
One varsity game at 6:30.
All right. We appreciate your patience at home, folks. We're waiting for scores for game 2, and we're waiting for Cedar Falls to finish up their regular games, individuals. Looks like most of them are in either their 9th or 10th frames, so we should be rolling on our end in a few minutes.
Down 310 for JV boys. That's really tight. Down 64 in the varsity girls. I'll find the varsity boys.
This just in, we have scores from both JV squads and then the varsity girls squad. The varsity boys squad scores will be here in just a moment. The JV boys squad. Vince Peters rolled a 200 and 151 in both games for a total score of 351. Hayden Brandt rolled a 101 and a 170 for a combined 271. Trey Bixby rolled a 142 and a 165 with a combined 307. Keaton Stokes rolled a 181 and a 169 for a total of 350. Damian Perez rolled a 107 and a 129 for a 236 total. And Caleb Hardy rolled a 156 and a 133 for a combined 289. Team total is 1,568, and they lead by a small 21 pins, but 21 pins nonetheless. For the JV girls side, Gracie Vickers rolling a 140 and a 120 for a combined 260. Ava Klein rolling a 97 and a 90 for a combined 187. Jordan Beck rolling a 147 and a 154 for a combined 301. Gavin Fear rolling a 153 and a 166 for a combined 319. Isaac Mikola rolling a 143 and a 169 for a combined 312. Team total of 1,379, leading by 93 pins. Over for the varsity boys side, that score is now in. Calix Carpenter rolling a 122 and a 170 for a combined 292. Chase Bauer rolling a 162 and a 131 for a combined 293. Colton Oltman rolling a 188 and a 213 for a combined 401. That is team leading. Jericho Dickerson rolling a 146 and a 156 for a combined 302. Josh Prowse rolling a 157 and a 235 for a combined 392. And Connor Peters rolling a 124 and a 156 for a combined 280, adding up to a team total of 1,680, but they trail the Cedar Falls team by 287. On the varsity girls side, Ella Veers rolling a 124 and a 137 for a combined 261. Kayla Carver rolling a 124 and a 146 for a combined 270. Brooklyn Krause rolling a 171 and a 158 for a combined 329. Madeline Lays rolling a 145. 145 and a 133 for a combined 280 as Linn-Mar sounds off their cheer. Kaylee Ann Sims rolling a 194 and a 192 for a combined 386. And Marissa Bills rolling a 222 and a 207 for a combined 429. That is team leading by a fair margin for a combined total of 1,694. And if I'm reading this right, I believe they are trailing the varsity girls squad for Cedar Falls by 64. So overall, a very close meet here at the Cedar Rapids Bowling Center. And we will be starting the 5 Bakers games in just a few minutes. And we are underway in the Bakers round. I believe that was Calix Carpenter rolling a 9 in lane 21 for the varsity boys squad. Carpenter looking for the spare. He's looking for the 9 pin. He's got it. Over in 19, we've got a strike. That was Vince Peters for the junior varsity boys squad. Over in 23, Ellie Veers picking up 1 pin on 4 for the spare chance. And over in 17, we have a strike. Two in a row. Gracie Vickers in frame 1 and Ava Klein in lane 2, or frame 2. And we've got another strike. This one is from Trey Bixby in lane 19. Over in 23, we've got an 8 leaving the 6 and 10 pins up. That was Kayla Carver, I believe. Over in 19, looking for the turkey for the lane. Can't quite get it. I believe that was Hayden Brandt. Over in 21, Jericho Dickerson. Frames 1 and 2 are spares. We'll see what this one picks up. That's a strike from Dickerson in 21. And Colton Oltman's fired up after that one. Over in 17, they're looking for 4 in a row. They've got it. We've got a perfect game through 4 for the junior varsity boys squad. Over in lane 17, they've got 4 in a row. Lane 23, Brooklyn Krause with a strike. And 23's got 3 full frames to start the game. Colton Oltman in 24, knocking down 8, leaving the 4 and 10 pins up. Over in 23, it's Madeline Lays picking up a strike. I believe that was Kaylee Ann Sims. Names might be a little bit out of order for me here, folks, from the original roster. Colton Oltman picking up 1 of 2 pins on his tough split. Over 19, we've got a 9-pin pickup. I believe that was Keaton Stokes. Over in 21, Josh Krause with a strike. Lots of strikes here in this Baker's round early, as there is a spare pickup in 19. I believe that was Damian Perez. Over in 23, Ella Veers can't quite get all of them as she leaves a 7 standing. Lane 21 looking for a double. They can't quite get it as the 5 pin stays up. Ella Veers looking for a spare in 23. On that 7 pin, and gets just enough spin to the right to clip that one. Over in 17, Ava Klein is going to try and keep the full frame streak alive. And she will pick up 5 on that one. Over in 23, it's Kayla Carver on her first ball to frame. She's got a strike, gets a cheer from her lane mates. This first round of Bakers going by very fast as they're already in the 7th. And another strike in lane 21. And Jericho Dickerson prepping his ball over in lane 22. Brooklyn Krause in 23 looking to extend the lane streak to a double. It looks all right, and it goes down. 5 out of the last 6 frames for the varsity girls squad have been strikes. And the doubles picked there by Brooklyn Krause. Over in 19, Trey Bixby. Can't quite get the 9-pin spare as he'll get 8. Jericho Dickerson looking for the double in lane 21. Can't quite get it. And over in 23, I believe that was Kaylee Ann Sims picking up 9, leaving the 10-pin standing. Over in 17, can't quite get the 2-pin on the spare. Looking for spares are Kaylee Ann Sims and Jericho Dickerson. Sims will get hers, and Dickerson will get his. Dickerson looked a little bit nervous with that going down, but he picked up the spare. Doing a little Michael Jackson roar after that one. Bowlers resetting. Over in 23, 10th frame, first roll is in for 9 pins, leaving the 10 pins standing. Caleb Hardy has a strike in 19 in the 9th frame. Colton Oltman has a strike in the 9th frame in lane 21. Linn-Mar getting a lot of strikes today in groups. A little bit of a group mentality here. And over in 23, we've got a spare for the varsity girls. They will have a third roll in the 10th frame. Over in 19, the boys JV squad picks up a strike. I believe that was Keaton Stokes, and a strike in lane 21. I believe that was Josh Prowse picking up that last strike. Over in 23, we've got another strike. The strike mentality is strong with this Linn-Mar team. And that should get us close to the end of round 1 for Bakers already. Over in 19, another strike! And that's a turkey for lane 19. We're looking for a turkey in 21. We've got it! Lots of turkeys trotting around here today at the Cedar Rapids Bowling Center. And the varsity boys squad will be looking for 4 in a row. And we got another strike in 19. They've got 4 in a row. Connor Peters is looking for 4 in a row in lane 21. He's got it! Linn-Mar with a strong start here in Bakers. And I believe that will end game 1 here in Bakers. We'll have the scores for that shortly. We've got a lot of 200 games here so far on both sides after that first round of Bakers. Linn-Mar resetting here for game 2. Over in 22, we got the varsity squad starting off with 9 with the 4 pins still standing. Over in lane 20, the JV boys squad starts out with 9 of their own, leaving the 10 pins standing. Boys varsity squad is looking for a 6-pin pickup, and they can't quite get it as it misses right. Over in 18, the JV girls squad will pick up 1 of 3 on their spare chance in frame 1. Over in 22, boys varsity. They get, I believe, 7. Yes, they will leave the 3, 6, and 10 standing after roll 1 of frame 2. Over in 18, varsity girls, first roll of frame 3 will get 7. Over in 20, the boys junior varsity will get 7. I believe that was Trey Bixby on that one, leaving the 1, 3, and 6 up. Brooklyn Krause prepping in 24. Over in 20, Bixby looking for the spare. He'll get the 1 in the back. That's he'll leave 2 standing. Krause in 24 has a spare and gets a round of applause from her lane mates. And Jericho Dickerson can't quite get the friendly spin and leaves that 10 pin standing. Looked like it was going to fall for a second. And over in 20, the junior varsity boys squad gets 7 with the 1, 3, and 6 standing. A lot of 1, 3, and 6 spare chances here early in Bakers. Dickerson looking for a spare on the 10 pin. It looks good and clips the left edge for the spare. Over in 20, the junior varsity boys squad looking for a spare there. They can't get it. Over in the girls varsity lane is a strike. Bowlers resetting. We'll have Round 1 Baker scores here in just a second as Coach updates the score sheet. We've got a strike in 22 by Oltmann. Caleb Hardy in 20 has 8, leaving the 3 and 10 standing. Hardy looking for the 3-10 spare, and he can't get it as it rolls into the right gutter. And looks like we'll get 7 from the boys varsity squad in lane 22 as the 1, 2, and 9 stay standing. Over in the girls varsity squad, we've got a strike. And we've got updated scores from round 1 of Bakers. For the junior varsity girls side, Linn-Mar won 164 to 108 in game 1. For the junior varsity boys side, they won 180 to 190, or they lost 180 to 193, but they still lead the team score by 21, if I'm reading that correctly. Over in the varsity boys side, the boys won 207 to 204, so only a 3-pin difference in that one. And the varsity girls won by a decent chunk, 214 to 181 in round 1. Now back to action. We've got a strike in lane 22 for the boys varsity squad. And we've got a 9-pin knockdown over in lane 20 by the junior varsity boys squad, leaving that 10-pin standing. And another strike. We've got a double in lane 22 for the boys varsity squad. Over in 20, junior varsity boys looking for a spare. They can't get it. Neither can the junior varsity girls on a 3-pin chance, only picking up 1. Brooklyn Krause rolling for the girls varsity squad. On her first roll of the frame, gets 9, leaving the 7-pin standing. Jericho Dickerson approaching and releasing for the boys varsity. He picks up 6. He'll have a split to work with. Over in 20, Trey Bixby gets the 7-pin on the left, but leaves the other 9 standing. Brooklyn Krause looking for a spare in lane 24. It looks good. She's got it. Jericho Dickerson looking for a tough spare. He needs the 3, 6, 4, and 10. And he will get the 6 on the right side. And Bixby's got a 9-pin spare in lane 20. Nice pickup there by the boys junior varsity squad. Girls varsity in lane 24 has an 8-pin pickup. I believe that was Kaylee Ann Sims picking up 8, leaving the 4 and 8-pin standing. And a strike from Colton Oltmann in lane 22. Over in 20 for the boys junior varsity side, they have a strike in their lane as well. Boys varsity squads in the 10th frame of their game. 3 of their last 4 frames have been strikes. And they will pick up 8 on that one, leaving the 4 and 7 standing. Caleb Hardy for the junior boys varsity squad, knocking down 7. And he'll have a tough baby 3-pin split to pick up on his second roll. Here's Hardy's second roll. And he will get the 10 on the right, getting 1 of 3. And the boys varsity squad will have a third roll in the 10th frame as that spare is picked up. I believe that was Josh Prowse getting that one. Bowlers resetting. Boys JV squad, their first roll of the 10th frame is not quite a strike as 9 pins fall, but not the head pin. And a strike by Prowse in lane 22, and there will be a third roll of the 10th frame. Over in 20, it's the boys junior varsity picking up a spare on the head pin. And it looks like game 2 has concluded in all lanes except the girls varsity squad. I believe they are waiting for a technical difficulty from the looks of it, as no one is moving in that lane. Over in 20, final roll of the game for boys JV is 9 pins, so they will end with a 127 on their ends. And a strike in 21. I believe the varsity boys just started off game 3 of Bakers with a strike of their own. We will have scores from game 2 of Bakers here shortly, folks. Seven pins picked up by the boys varsity squad in their second frame. They leave the 1, 3, and 9 standing. JV boys squad in lane 19 picks up 9 with the 5 pins still standing. And I believe we have a strike in the girls varsity lane after that roll. Jericho Dickerson stepping up for the boys varsity side. Over 19, the junior varsity boys will get the spare on the 5-pin knockdown. Jericho Dickerson over in lane 21, looking for the strike. It looks good. He's got it. And Dickerson is hyped up after that one. Boulders reset. Here's Trey Bixby for the junior boys. He's got a strike. Spare and a strike to start out the JV boys game 3 of Bakers. Over in the JV girls lane. Second roll of frame 3. Nice spare by the junior varsity girls. And they are pumped up after that one. We've got a 7-pin knockdown by the junior varsity squad for the boys. Over in 17 for the JV girls, they've got a 9-pin knockdown with the 5 still standing. Boys varsity has another strike. And over in 23, girls varsity picks up 9 with the 4-pin still standing. The boys varsity squad now has a turkey going. We'll see if they can get 4 in a row on this next one. And they have 4 in a row. The Linn-Mar boys varsity squad is doing well to start out this third game of Bakers. We'll have scores from game 2 shortly. We'll see if the boys varsity can get 5 in a row. They get 9, but can't knock down the 4-pin. Over in 23, girls varsity. First roll of frame 2 will get 7, leaving the 1, 2, and 9 standing. Caleb Hardy for the junior varsity boys in 19. He has a strike. Caleb Hardy's had a great day. Bowlers resetting. Junior varsity girls in 17. First roll of frame 6. I believe that was a strike. It was 2 in a row for the junior varsity girls squad. The varsity girls squad looking for a spare on the 1, 2, and 9. They've got it. Jericho Dickerson for the varsity boys in 21. He's got it. And a strike for the junior varsity boys squad as well. Linn-Mar once again getting strikes in groups today among all lanes. Junior varsity girls squad looking for a turkey. They can't quite get it. They pick up 7. Brooklyn Krause in the girls varsity lane picks up 9, leaving the 5-pin standing. Colton Oltman in 21 has a strike. A fantastic game of Bakers from this Linn-Mar boys varsity team. They have not had an empty frame yet. Brooklyn Krause looking for the spare in 23 for the varsity girls. She's got it. Over in 19, JV boys squad looking for a spare. They get 3 of 4. Varsity boys squad looking for the turkey. Will they get it? Yes, they will. The boys varsity squad laying down the pins here in game 3 of Bakers. And we are seconds away from game 2 scores. As the girls varsity lane in 23, Kaylee-Ann Sims gets 7, or 8 as one fell late. 2 and 5 still standing. Linn-Mar boys looking for their second 4-strike streak of this third game of Bakers. Banking right. Can't quite get the 7 on the left. But we do have a strike in 19 by the JV boys squad. Trey Bixby had a spare by Kaylee-Ann Sims in 23 for the varsity girls. Over in 17, JV girls have a spare of their own. Varsity boys looking for a spare to end their game 3. It looks good. They've got it. And a dominant game 3 of Bakers from the boys varsity squad. We have scores from game 2. For the junior varsity girls squad, Linn-Mar won game 2, 158 to 110. For the junior varsity boys squad, Linn-Mar dropped that one, 127 to 147. Over for the varsity boys, they won by 5 pins, 178 to 173, and the varsity girls barely lost game 2 by 2 pins, 201 to 203. This is a very tight bowling meet here today, folks. Don't go anywhere. We are in the middle of game 3 of Bakers, and some Linn-Mar lanes have started game 4. Caleb Hardy, his role for the junior varsity boys, he picks up 5. Over in 22 for the varsity boys, they pick up 8, leaving the 1 and 2 standing. Bowlers reset. Caleb Hardy looking for a 5-pin spare in lane 19. And he gets 4. Over in 22, varsity boys looking for a spare. They've got it. Lane 19, junior varsity boys. Final frame of game 3. Knocks down 6. We'll have a tough spare to pick up. Varsity boys in lane 2, they are going to have a tough spare of their own to pick up, with the 6, 10, and 7 pins still standing. Varsity girls lane looking for a double, and can't quite get it as they leave the 10 pin standing. Junior varsity boys in 19, tough split chance. They'll get 3 of 4. And the varsity boys will pick up 2 of 3 on their spare chance. Junior varsity girls pick up 8 of 10, leaving the 4 and 7 pins still standing. Varsity girls looking to pick up a spare on the 10 pin. The spin looks good, but it banks left just at the end, and they will not convert the spare there. Jericho Dickerson for the varsity boys. Here's the release, spinning left. And he's got the strike. And some emotion from Jericho Dickerson after that nice strike. Brooklyn Krause over in the varsity girls lane. She will get 6 with a tough spare to pick up. Speaking of tough spares, almost got it in the junior varsity boys lane on the 4 and 10 pins, but not quite there. And an 8-pin pickup by Colton Oltman in the varsity boys lane. Brooklyn Krause looking for a tough 4-pin pickup. She needs the 3, 6, 10, and 7, and she will get the 6 and 10. Over in 18, JV girls will get 4 of 6 on a spare chance, and Trey Bixby will pick up 9 for the junior varsity boys as he leaves the 6-pin standing. We are in game 4 of Bakers across the board here for everyone except the girls varsity, who is in frame 9, and they get a strike on their 9th frame. Over in 20, Bixby looking for the spare. He's got it. Junior varsity girls, lane 18. They get 9. And another strike from the boys varsity squad in 22. Over in 23, girls varsity picks up 9 with the 2 pin still standing. Junior varsity boys has 8. Varsity boys have an 8. Junior varsity girls looking for a spare on the 2 pin. They've got it. Varsity girls looking for a spare on the 2 pin. Looks good. They've got it. Clipped the right edge of the pin and it went down. Boys varsity looking for a spare on the 3 and 10. It'll be tough. And they just missed the edge of the 3 pin. They will come up empty on that trip. Same with the junior varsity boys squad, as they had a similar spare to pick up but no dice. Bowlers resetting. Final roll of game 3 coming up for the girls varsity squad. Here it is. And a strike to end the girls varsity Bakers game 3. We'll have game 3 scores shortly. We're about midway through game 4 and about half of the Linn-Mar lanes. And a strike from the varsity boys side in lane 22. Caleb Hardy in lane 20 for the junior varsity squad gets 9. He will leave the 9 pin standing. Jericho Dickerson looking for a double for the varsity boys. Banking left. He got it. Dickerson's in a rhythm now. And Caleb Hardy gets a spare on the 9 pin for the junior varsity boys side. Bowlers resetting. Colton Altman looking for the turkey in the boys varsity side. We'll have that in a moment. Junior boys varsity. Here's their roll. And we've got a turkey for the boys varsity squad. Lots of turkey trots today here at the Cedar Rapids Bowling Center for the Linn-Mar Lions. Colton Altman very fired up after that one. JV girls pick up 7 on their roll in frame 6 of game 4 of Bakers, and we'll have game 3 scores in just a moment as coach writes them down. Boys looking for 4, and they've got it. The Linn-Mar boys varsity squad is having a day here in Cedar Rapids. They will look for 5 in a row. For the junior varsity boys side, they've got not quite a strike, as it looked like that 3 pin would fall, but it didn't quite go. Boys varsity looking for their 5th in a row. Here it comes. Do they have the spin? They have the spin! 5 in a row for the boys varsity squad, and they are stringing together streak after streak today. Girls varsity squad picking up a spare. And we are waiting on one more score for game 3, folks. We'll have that in just a second. Boys varsity looking for 6 in a row to end game 4. Here it comes. They've got it. What an end to game 4 for the boys varsity squad, and they are putting together a great display here this afternoon. I believe we are getting our final score written down for game 3 of Bakers, as we are entering game 5 in about half of the Linn-Mar lanes. Over for boys JV, they pick up a spare. Trey Bixby picking up the 6, 9, and 10. And we have scores for game 3 of Bakers. For the JV girls side, they won game 3, 158 to 149, and they lead the day total by 323. The JV boys squad, they lost 151 to 196. They trail by 101 with 2 Bakers games left. For the varsity boys squad, they won 236 to 209, but they've got a lot of ground to pick up as they trail the daily total by 464 as they fell behind early in individuals. And it's a very close overall game for varsity girls. They won game 3 of Bakers, 169 to 159, and they are down by 33 with 2 Bakers games to go. I believe the boys varsity squad started off their game with another strike. Here's for the double, and they can't quite get it. That ends a streak of 7 strikes in a row for the boys varsity squad, as they'll have the 4 and 7 pins to pick up going into game 5. Boys varsity looking for a spare, and they've got it on the 4 and 7. Caleb Hardy for the boys junior varsity in 20. He'll pick up 7 over in 24. The girls varsity picks up 4 pins, or 6 pins with 4 remaining, coming off of 2 strikes in a row. Jericho Dickerson looking to get the boys varsity back on the strike train. He got it! Then Dickerson is fired up as the girls varsity gets a nice spare of their own. Caleb Hardy looking for a spare on the JV boys side. He's got it. Bowlers resetting. A very strong surge by the Linn-Mar team as a whole in the closing minutes of this meet. Colton Altman has 9 as he leaves the 5 pin standing in the varsity lane. Over in JV boys, they've got a strike. I believe the JV girls side is waiting for their lane to reset. Colton Altman for the varsity boys looking for that 5 pin for the spare, and he got it and he knew it. Varsity girls looking for that 10 pin for the spare. They graze it, and the boys JV squad has a double with a strike there, and they will get a 3rd roll in the 10th frame of game 4 on their side. Linn-Mar boys varsity looking for a strike here. They've been hot, and they've got another one! And the girls varsity picks up 9. That was Brooklyn Krause picking up all but the 6 pin. Over on the JV boys side, a turkey to finish game 4, and that will help in the JV effort to shrink that Cedar Falls lead. Lane 21, varsity boys looking for the double. They've got it. Was there really any doubt? Boys varsity bowling for the Lions is hot and getting hotter right now, folks. Bowlers resetting. Varsity looking for the turkey. Spinning left and not quite there, as 3 pins on the right will stay up. JV boys get 9 pins with the 10 pins still standing. And we've got a strike over on the girls varsity end. That was Kaylee Ann Sims, I believe. Lane 21, varsity boys looking for a double, or for a spare. JV boys have a spare, and so do the varsity boys. Girls varsity, they pick up 6, leaving, not quite sure what it says on the score there, but they do have 4 pins left to pick up on their end. Jericho Dickerson prepping for the varsity boys. Here's the approach and the release. Good spin, and just a little bit too far to the left. The JV boys squad has a strike. That was Trey Bixby picking that one up. He's had some nice rolls today. Girls JV on their 2nd roll picked up 6 their first one, and 3 on that one for 9 in the frame. Jericho Dickerson looking to pick up a spare on the 1 and 3 pins. And he's got it. Boys JV picks up 7. Girls JV also picks up 7. Girls varsity picks up 9, leaving that 5 pin standing. Boys JV looking for a spare on the 3, 9, and 10. They will get the 10, but not the 3 and 9. Colton Altman looking for a strike for boys varsity. He will get 9, leaving the 10 pin standing. Girls varsity looking for a spare. They have it on the 5 pin. Caleb Hardy cleaning his ball. He will roll for JV. Here's the roll from Hardy, spinning left. and he'll pick up 8. And Oltman rolls a gutter ball, trying to pick up the 10 pin on the spare. Girls varsity, they've got a strike. They've got a spare and strike to start game 5. Boys varsity going into frame 10. And it's a strike from boys varsity, and I believe we have scores from game number 4 for Bakers. Maybe. I believe we're waiting on game 5 scores at this point. Or no, I'm reading this wrong. There's a bunch of different fonts and colors of things on the paper. Sorry about that, folks. We're still waiting on game 4 scores. Boys varsity looking for the double. And they've got it. Some late falls there. Girls varsity, Brooklyn Krause knocking down 2 of 3 for the last one. Boys JV has a strike. Girls JV picks up 8, leaving the 1 and 2 standing. Girls varsity, their first roll of frame 4 in game 5 is a strike. That's Kaylee Ann Sims. Boys varsity looking for the turkey to finish out the game. Not quite there as the 7 pin stays standing. Girls varsity on their roll of frame 5 looking for a double, can't quite get it as pin number 10 stays standing. Boys JV looking to pick up a spare. They need the 5 and 10, and they'll split it down the middle. Field goal signs go up on the bowling squad. That is not a good thing if you're a bowler. And girls varsity picks up a spare on that 10 pin, and we are now getting score updates for game number 4 of Bakers. Bowlers resetting for Linn-Mar. Boys JV, here's their first roll of the frame. Trey Bixby picks up 8, and girls varsity picks up a strike. They've got 2 strikes in their last 3. Girls JV, they're looking for a spare on the 1, 2, and 4. And they get the 1 and 2, but not the 4. Boys JV, bad roll from Bixby there as it banked right away and landed in the gutter. Over in 23, girls varsity, they will get 6. Boys JV, their first roll of the frame. They've got 8. And we now have scores for game 4 of Bakers. For the junior varsity girls squad, they won game 4, 141 to 106. They lead the daily total by 358 going into game 5. For the boys JV, they lost 188 to 150, trailing by 139 going into the final game of Bakers. For the varsity boys, they lost 215 to 194, trailing by 485 on the daily total. And the varsity girls lost 228 to 178, trailing by 83. Boys JV in their lane, they have a strike. Girls varsity, Brooklyn Krause getting an 8 pin knockdown on that one. Boys JV looking for the spare. I believe that'll be a foul as they fell over the line on that one. It wouldn't have mattered as the ball missed both pins. Brooklyn Krause looking for the spare on the 3 and 10. She will get the 10, but not the 3. Caleb Hardy prepping in 19 for the junior varsity boys. Here's his first roll. He's got a strike, a friendly spin by the pins there, and he gets a round of applause from the parents here behind me. Girls varsity, first roll of their frame is not quite a strike as the 7 pin didn't fall down. Girls JV, they will not quite get the spare on that one, leaving that frame open. boys JV, their first roll of the frame. They will leave the 7, 10, and 6 pins up after their first roll. Girls varsity can't quite get the spare on the 7 pin as Kaylee Ann Sims spun that one to the left gutter. And I believe we are almost done with game 5 of Bakers as the JV boys have their second roll of the 10th frame. And oh, almost got the tough spare, but not quite getting 2 of 3. But the girls varsity gets a strike and they will have a third roll of the 10th frame. I believe we are down to our final 2 rolls of the day here on the Linn-Mar side. As I believe this is Marissa Bills in the girls lane. And Bills will get 9 of 10, leaving that 10 pin up. And the girls have a chance to end today's meet with a spare on that 10 pin. We will get you final scores coming up shortly after this final roll by Marissa Bills. Here it comes. Looking good, and she knew she got it. She turned around when the ball was halfway down. And a round of applause from the Linn-Mar squad as they end the day on a high note with that spare. And we will have final scores for you shortly.
Me and Anna are in the car.
Stay tuned, folks. We're working on our final scores for today's match. We are getting statistics. We do have the final for the varsity boys, so I'll just say that now. They lost by an even 500 pins, 32-01 to 27-01, but a very strong showing nonetheless from the Linn-Mar boys varsity side, stringing together a lot of strikes in a row on multiple occasions today. Oh man, I threw as much as I could take in there. I get paid for them.
They're pretty good.
I'm waiting on varsity girls and then both JVs.
I'm sorry, Jim.
Nah, you're all right. Gotta hand out the senior cookies. I've been there, done that.
I got to take my ball.
No, we lost by 5.
They're a little oily.
2130.
Relax.
1776.
Well, it's a good thing we're not having good thing we're not having
32, whoops, no, 2701, we have that one. And this is 2300, turn it to
All right, we've got final scores for both JV squads and the varsity girls. For the JV girls squad, they came out on top 2138 to 1776. The JV boys fell short by 181 pins by a score of 2481 to 2300. And then the varsity girls fell short by 88 pins by a score of 2698 to 2610. So even though the junior varsity girls squad was the only one to come out on top for the Lions, a very, very strong bowling meet from where I stood today, folks, by all teams. My name's Cale Sleazer. Thank you for joining me and the Linn-Mar Athletic Department live stream here today at the Cedar Rapids Bowling Center. Signing off for now. Stay safe out there, folks.
You did that very good.
Thank you.